Hafa Day students, the last time you saw me, we were working on the second step of the writing process called drafting. I'm glad you can join me again for today's lesson. Today, we're going to be going over the third and fourth step of the writing process called revising and editing. Revising is a time to change and add to your writing. And during this time, we're going to find ourselves asking if our ideas make sense or if we need to add or change our details or words. Editing is when we look for mistakes and fix them. Now, revising and editing is a lot of work, but it's a skill or something that we all need to learn. It's important to know that during this part of the writing process, we're not able to find all of our errors the first time we read them. So we have to make sure that we take our time and we get help from a teacher or your parent or guardian. This checklist here is going to help us focus on what we're going to be looking for in our writing. It's important that when we do our revising and editing, we start from the beginning of our writing piece. So let's go ahead and look here at our checklist, and it's going to ask us, did I indent at the beginning? And you can see here that I did. So I put a check mark here. Now we're going to focus on the main idea. I'm going to go ahead and read that out loud. Here are 3 ways I can keep myself safe. Now, when I look at this sentence or when I look at my main idea, it's not too clear. A reader might wonder, what am I trying to keep myself safe from? So it's important to make that clear. So I revised it and I added that part to my main idea. Now that I have that added to my main idea, I want to reread it again. Here are 3 ways I can keep myself safe from the coronavirus. Now, when I look at my main idea, I want to keep it short and simple and straight to the point. So I'm going to take out the word can. I'll reread it again. Here are 3 ways I keep myself safe from the coronavirus. I'm satisfied with my main idea, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to my details. Now, since I'm talking about 3 ways that I keep myself safe, I'm going to go ahead and add transition words. I'm going to add the word first. It's a transition word that will help my reader understand the 3 ways that I'm keeping myself safe, and it shows order. So I'm going to add that in. I'm going to read it to myself. First, I wear a mask to stop germs from getting in. Now, this sentence doesn't seem too clear. So instead of using the word in, I'm going to make it clear by adding to my nose and mouth. I'm going to reread it out loud. First, I wear a mask to stop germs from getting to my nose and mouth. Now that that's squared away, I'm going to go ahead and move on to my second detail. I'm going to add in my transition word to help it stay consistent since I added the transition word first, and I'm going to read it out loud. Second, I watch my distance and stay 6 feet apart from others. Now, with the help and assistance from an adult like our teacher or our parent or guardian, they can help point out some spelling errors like the word distance. I'm going to reread this again. Second, I watch my distance and stay 6 feet apart from others. That sentence or the second detail looks good. I'm going to move on to my third detail. So I added the word third, and if I'm not yet able to write full words and I'm only able to write the sounds, then I'll be needing assistance again from my parent or guardian or my teacher. And what I can do is I can verbally say what I wrote here out loud, and they can help me complete that sentence. So this is supposed to say, I can wash my hands with soap and water for 20 seconds. So with their help, I can write a sentence down, and I wanted to stay consistent or have it be the same again. Since I took out the word can up here, I'm not going to use the word can down here either. So let's reread that third detail. Third, I wash my hands with soap and water for 20 seconds. Now that I have my beginning, which is my main idea, and I have my three details down, I'm finished with my middle part. So now I need an ending in my writing. I'm going to go ahead and end it with this sentence. I am a health hero. Now that I have my ending, I can go ahead and put a check mark for this part of my checklist. And I'm going to move on to this part of the checklist where it says, did I start each sentence with a capital letter? So I'm going to go ahead and go back again to my writing, and I'm going to check the beginning of each sentence to make sure it's capitalized. There's a capital H in my main idea. There's a capital F in my first detail. There's a capital S in my second detail. There's a capital T in my third detail, and there's a capital I in my ending or closing sentence. So now I can put a check mark for this third area of my checklist. I'm going to move on to the next part of my checklist, and it says here, did I end each sentence with a punctuation mark? So now I'm going to look at the ending of each sentence to make sure that I have an ending mark. Let's go ahead and look here. Here are 3 ways I keep myself safe from the coronavirus. There's an ending mark there. Let's look at my first detail. First, I wear a mask to stop germs from getting to my nose and mouth. There is an ending mark in my first detail. Second, I watch my distance and stay 6 feet apart from others. There's an ending mark in my second detail. Third, I wash my hands with soap and water for 20 seconds. There's an ending mark in my third detail. And for my ending sentence or my closing sentence, I am a health hero. There's an exclamation point. So I can put a check mark on my fourth part of the checklist. And now that I reviewed and reread my writing piece, I can say that my ideas are clear to my reader. Now that we went over the third and fourth step of the writing process called editing and revising, and we finished our checklist, it's time to work on your papers. Go ahead and grab a pen, sit down with your parent or guardians, or take time to review with your teacher, and I'll see you for the next step, which is publishing. Take care, boys and girls.